Wireless technology is not a new one. It is already discovered by Sir Nikola Tesla in the 1980s. Then what about wireless technology? It is the transmit electric energy from one end to another end by without using any transmission line or cables and any physical connection between the two ends. Then what is the transmitter device is driven by electrical power source from the power across the space. The basic principle behind the powerless transfer is mutual induction. Then what is a mutual induction? When a coil, primary coil is supplied by a current source, it will induce the another secondary coil with the EMF due to change in magnetic field. Like when a current flowing through the coil, it will induce it will cut the EMF in the coil. There are two types of wireless induction is principle behind them, like near field and far field. In near field, it will short distance with a magnetic field around the conductor. In far field, by the distance is long range by using a microwave as the coupling medium. In short medium, the coupling medium. Wireless charging is the application like mobile charging and portable home appliances and etc. Then what is the advantage of the wireless technology means? It will charge the multiple number of devices at one single port, and economically it will benefit reduce the batteries, disposable batteries. And what's the disadvantage? Like it will high initial cost, and it actually find the near the field. Then I can show the some basic mutual induction principle. In AC, there is a continuous waveform like a continuous signal, like a time varying signal, positive, negative in the sequence of time. Then mutual induction has a time varying field is required in the amount. In DC, there is no time varying signal is there. Like constantly it is going in time varying field. Now I can show the circuit. In AC, the supply frequency is 50 hertz or 60 hertz, and it is converted into high frequency converter, which means the 50 or 60 hertz is converted into 4000 or 5000 hertz, and it is given feedback to transmitter coil. The transmitter coil produces the time varying signal like this waveform, 50 to 60 hertz to 500 or 1000 hertz, and the time varying field is created in the transmitter section. And another receiver coil is given feedback to link the transmitter section. It flux will be linked into receiver section, and a receiver section has a induce the EMF in the form of 50 hertz. And again, it is rectified section rectifies the AC waveform into DC waveform, and it is given feedback to DC load. Whether you have used the AC load, you can remove the rectifier section and directly use the AC load. But in DC, the waveform is the constant one. Waveform is a constant one. There is no time varying signal produced in the DC waveform. So I can produce the first frequency part in DC component. So I can use the oscillator for varying the signal. So the constant signal is given to oscillator, and it produces the 4000 or 5000 hertz frequency is converted back, and the oscillator is given to transmitter section, and a transmitter produces the time varying signal. And a time varying signal is given mutually induced in the receiver section, and a rectified section converts the DC waveform, and the DC load is connected back to receiver end. A simple circuit like a center tap transformer. We already know that as a transformer working principle. The transformer works on the basic of mutual induction. Then what is the mutual induction? When a primary coil is supplied from the current source, magnetically coupled in a secondary coil, and secondary coil induces some EMF voltage. So in this case, positive supply is given to center tap, and the positive initially this lower inductor act as a pure conductor, and pure conductor we can get a base supply. Then the base supply is given to transistor. It will be forward bias, and the transistor will be switched on. And switch on this supply, the uh, ground path is available in the inductor top. Then the positive is available in negative, and the negative is available in the top section, and the magnetic field is induced. Then the actually inductor does not works in the DC, like it behave like a short circuit in DC. Then it turn off the circuit, the transistor will be cut off, and the negative supply is not available in the transistor top section. Then the inductor discharges, the charged voltage is discharged back to supply. Then it will be polarity will be changed, negative, positive, positive, negative. Since the polarity will be changed continuously due to frequencies available in the positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. Then I make a simple circuit. Then I make a simple circuit like a wireless technology. The reason behind the principle like mutual induction principle. This will be transistor, and it is switched in the thousands of frequency, turn on and turn off, turn on, turn off. This will produces the oscillating one. Then I will make the circuit will be on. This will be receiver coil, which will take completely. This will be burnt, light up the coil. And I make another one. This will be light up, and another one. Receiver coil is done by this will be light up. Due to mutual induction principle, the magnetic field is created in the circular path, and the DC is converted into very high frequency, which is done by a transistor. Transistor was initially very heat. You can use the power MOSFET or power transistor for the better performance. Then what is the advantage and the disadvantages in the wireless technology means single transmitter section. This one and this one. Multiple number of ports given to the single. It will load. So what is the disadvantages in the wireless technology means? It will high initially cost by using very high voltage applications. It will design factor is very high, like a coil and another power MOSFETs. It will be budgetly high. So what is that? Another disadvantages is it will slowly charge the mobile phones. Like it will current rating is very low. And another disadvantages is near the field is only charged by one. That's all from my side. If you have any doubts.
One of the attendee have asked, what is QI intrigate system?
Any strong magnetic field nearby affect the circuit with the mutual induction. How do you generate high frequency signal? By using a power MOSFET or a transistor, you can switch like a high frequency signal, like a turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off by a pulse width modulation technique. My email ID is voltamp95.
Ravi have asked a question, maximum DC voltage and amp possible. He is asking about what is the maximum DC voltage and what is the maximum amp can be implemented.
Maximum DC voltage is depend upon the coil design factor, like a coil impedance factor, and you can put some resistance like a series with a coil. It will provide the impedance and it will work normally.
Mr. Datta has asked, can you repeat its disadvantage?
The main disadvantages is that high initial cost. Like you can design a very high power application. Initial cost is very high due to coil will be designed from particular application. And another disadvantage is slow charge. If you can mobile charging technology, it will be slowly charged due to current. Secondary current is very low. And another one disadvantage is near field application only. It only available in near field. Like this one is nearly mutually coupled with another one, not a far field. In far field, like a microwave technology is there. Microwave. Then
Sai
another
Kishore
one.
have asked your project input supply rating and output current. What is your input supply rating and output current?
Input in my project, input supply is 5 volt and output current value is 500 milliamps.
Sai Kishore have asked how do you generate high frequency signal?
In high frequency signal, you can produce the transistor as a switching device, like a turn off by the continuously switch on off. You can produce the high frequency signal by PWM technique, pulse width modulation technique.
One of the attendee asked any strong magnetic field nearby the circuit will affect the mutual induction.
It will create the mutual induction. But another one field is involved in the transmission circuit. It will produce the high voltage in secondary side, depending upon the magnetic field induced in the secondary EMF, secondary coils.
Shiva Anand have asked for mobile wireless charging how to proceed.
In mobile charging, you normally mobile requires a 5 volt and current ranging depend upon your battery mAh. So you can provide 5 volt for transmission N, and another secondary coil take it wound for 15 to 7 to 15 turns and take nearly to transmission end. You can produce the required EMF for mobile charging.
How does wireless charging work with UI integrated?
UI user interface.
Abhishek have asked what is the limit range of wireless volt can be produced? Can be produced to 20 volt from wireless charging?
You can produce the 20 volt from wireless charging by using a high frequency signal is given feedback to transmitter section. Then the strong magnetic field will be produced. Then it will receiver end is given back to the another end. It will induce the EMF.
How can the heating be reduced in the coil?
Heating can be reduced by using a correct range of transistor, and by using a heat sink is a better application. Use first heat sink and the correct range of transistor for the avoid overheating issues.
Abhishek have asked does it harmful for human?
No, it will environmental free.
Abhishek have asked what is the range of wireless transmitter and receiver should be maximum range?
It will be depend upon coil design factor. In my project, likely 3 centimeter is there. 15 number of turns. I wounded 15 number of turns. It will produce a maximum range of 4 to 3 centimeter with a maximum induced EMF. You can design a like 2 kilometer or 3 kilometer. You can use microwave as the transmitting medium, and mutual induction is not possible in the 20 or 30 kilometers. Like, so Sir Nikola Tesla was 1980s. You can produce some tower range like microwave transmitting from one end to another end, and the microwave is captured from receiving end, and the microwave is converted into electrical energy.
How can we interface microcontroller with such coils so that we can use it to send binary data?
You can interface a microcontroller or microprocessor by using a voltage divider method. The receiving end section produces the alternating EMF. So you can convert it into direct current by using rectifier, and it is divided by voltage divider and produce the 5 volt or 3 volt and given feedback to microcontroller or microprocessor for reading or writing the data, binary data.
Someone has asked what is loss in percentage of power. If my transmitter is sending 100% power, how much percentage will be received?
Totally it will efficiency like only 30 or 40 percentage of efficiency I will get in my circuit. So you can use the circuit like at 100 percentage of power. You can design like resonance circuit. You can add a transmitter from receiving end with the coupling of capacitor. Then capacitor will produce the high resonating frequency. And also another add to secondary end, you can use the another one. So the efficiency will be get 80 to 90 percentage.
One of our attendees has asked its wireless work on alternating current. Will it work if I plug a big coil in my power outlet and connect another coil on washing machine and use it wirelessly?
Yeah, you can use the wirelessly using washing machine, but it require a high amount of energy in washing machine, depending on power consumption. But it is practically impossible for designing factors. I suggest the MOSFET for IRQ 360 for those driving a coil. Likely MOSFET will be NPN type transistor. For 220 volt electricity range of 5 kilometer, the investment will be depend upon number of coil used in. Yeah, sure. It is possible to battery car chargers, EV vehicles, electrical vehicles charging technology, likely car or bus, van, etc. You can use the inductor coil in the base bottom of the vehicle, and another transmitting coil will be in flat type road, and then EV battery operated vehicle can be stopped in the transmission end. You can transmit the electricity from one end to another.